Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to show you how to enter a team into a Teams tournament. And so I've got this set up here as if I've never registered for a tournament before on Tornelo. It's my first time here. So I've got the team event information here. I'm going to click the enter event now to get started. It will ask me to create an account. If I've already registered Teams before or I've got an account on Tornelo, I'll click the button I already have an account, and I'll be able to go through the process of signing in and continue with the entry. If I haven't registered an account before, then I'm going to just start by creating my account. I can choose a password, make sure my email address, my name, and my password are in, and I'll create my account. Oh, I've already used that email address. So let's, if the email address already exists in the system, you'll have to click the already have an account button and you'll be able to log into your account. All right, so once you've created your account or logged into your account, it will take you through to the stage where you need to start entering your players. And the first choice is whether we're going to be entering one player or entering a team of players. You'll choose enter one player if you're entering a player that you are the owner of. So you've got financial and moral responsibility for that player. So that's your own child or yourself, for example. If you're a team coordinator, a team manager, a teacher at a school, you're more likely going to be not permanently responsible for those players, and you may only be responsible for just this one event. So we'll click add a team, and the first step is to choose a group. So the group is your school, your club, your team that you're representing. We select from a group that exists, or we create a new group depending on whether your group has played before. So we'll select the group. We'll proceed to the next step, which is to add the players for the tournament. Now you can add a player that is already played for that group and represents this group there. So we can add James because he's already played in that group before, or we can create a totally new player. Okay. If that player hasn't played for that group before, we're going to now create that new player, and we can create additional players. We keep adding our players until everybody is entered. Okay. So we've entered the players that we need to register the players for the team for this event and continue to the next step. Because we've created new players, we need to choose the level of privacy that we're going to apply to those new players' names. So our name is private information. Obviously, the group or the school that you represent is also private information. So where do we want that to be displayed? If it's public, that goes on Google and anybody on the internet can find it. Probably the best solution is a community privacy. That name is then obscured from Google. Nobody on the wide world of the internet can find your name, but those names are still visible to other players within the community. So players in the tournament or logged into Tornelo. Anyone logged into Tornelo can find your name. A private level of privacy is quite extreme. Nobody else will ever be able to see that player's name apart from the player. So that no other teachers will be able to register players once they're private at the highest level. So community is probably the best step. The next shows you we've got our 4 players that we're going to register. We can deselect one of them if we've changed our mind. We'll proceed to the next step. So this is where we take some information about each of the players who's going to be on your team. You know, what division are they in? Are they in the primary or the secondary division? And any other information that the system doesn't already have about them. So all of apart from the division here, which is required information, the rest of the information is not required, it's optional. And you'll only be asked for it if that player doesn't already have that information. So if we already have the year of birth for James, then we won't be asking for that. As I said, it is optional. The only field that you really should fill in is if it's a online tournament. If you're playing over the internet, you'll definitely want to fill out your email address. All right, so you want to put the player's email address. So it might be rocky@gmail.com. And that will be the email address that the player will use when they come and sign in to actually play in the tournament. Okay, so it could be at school email address, or it can be a personal email address. And when the players come and sign in, they'll be able to use those email addresses, and it will automatically allow them to play. So we fill in the required information on that page, and we progress to the next step, which is your contact details. That's your contact details of the person who's registering the team, not the individual contact details of the players, but your contact details. And the final step is to pay the entry fee, or if the event is set up where you can pay via an invoice, you can either enter your credit card or select that you'll get an invoice on the day or after the event. Final confirmation of all the details shows up here. We can see the players' names, we can see the divisions, we can see everything about it, and then we'll click the Submit Entry button, which will tell us that all of our players have been registered. We can now see we've got our teams registered here. We can see which division they're in, and we're ready to play in the event. Easy as that.